Hello friends, welcome to .NETAwesome.com. Before this article, we have seen how to create login and registration page in ASP.NET MVC application. But it was very simple example and most of the important features like email verification, password hashing in the registration page, remember me option in the login page has not been explained for make this example simple and easy to understand for beginners. Today in this article I will explain the followings: registration page with email validation and password hashing, login page with remember me option, and email verification page. Okay, let's start. First of all, we need to create an application. In this article we have used Visual Studio 2015. For create a new application, here in this Visual Studio, go to File, New, and then click on Project. It will brings up a new dialog window. Here, New Project, from where we will select Web and then ASP.NET Web Application under Web. Then provide your application name here, registration and login, and then select your project location. So select your project location and then click on OK button. It will open another dialog window from where we can select our project template. I will select empty and then we'll check MVC from here for add all the folders and core references for this template, and then click on OK button. Our application is created. You can see here. First of all, I will start with registration page. So before registration, we need to create one database here in our application so we can save user data. For adding a new database here in our application, I'll go to app data, and here in this folder I will add our one local database. As this is a tutorial project, I will add here. So right click on your app data folder, then add, and then click on new item. From here I will select SQL Server database under data, and then provide your database name here, and then click on add button. You can see here our database added in our project. So after that we need to create one table for save user details. So double click on this database, so it will open in your server explorer from where we can add our database table. For adding this database table, right click here in this tables node and then click on add new table. Here I will write our table schema. So my table name is users, then user ID, this should be identity field, then first name, it's a mandatory field, last name, sorry, this is also mandatory. Then I will add email ID, .254, this is also mandatory. date of birth. This is not mandatory, but I have added here for because I want to show you how we can handle the date time field in our form. Then password, max, because here I will store hash value, so I don't know how many characters it will take. And then I will add is email verified is a boolean value, is email verified or not. If the email verification is not done, the user cannot access the application. And then I will add activation code. The type will be unique identifier, and this is also mandatory. This field we will use for validate the email. So this is one unique value we need to store here, and according to this value we need to validate the user, which we will send this authentication activation code to user email ID. Okay. Our table schema is ready. Now we need to click on this update button for generate this table, and then click on update database. Okay, our table is created successfully. So let's see, here we can see this table is created. Now we will go to our solution explorer, and we will add our entity data model. For adding the model, I will go to models folder. From here I will right click, then add, then new item. From here I will select edu.net entity data model under data, and then we need to provide data model name. Here in my case I will add in my model, and then click on add button. It will open another dialog window from where we can add our data model. From this dialog window I will select EF designer from database, and then click on next. So you can see here our database is already selected, or you can also select your database if it's not available here using this new connection button. Okay, there is an option for save configuration setting in web.config. This is our data context model name. I will leave it as it is and click on next button. From here I will select entity framework 6.x, again click next, select your table, and finally I will click finish button for generate this data model here in our models folder. It will take a little time. Our model is created successfully. Click on save button and close it. You can see here our model is also created. Now I will do a partial class of that user model where we will add data annotation validators for validate our model. We will apply the validator to the metadata classes instead of applying the validators to the actual classes generated by the entity framework, because the entity framework designer generates the model classes. Any changes you make to the model classes will be overwritten the next time you make any changes in the designer. So what I will do, I will first create a folder here inside this models. Here I will see write extended. I have created one folder with named extended, and inside that folder I will create one new class for generate this partial class of that user model. So the name should be user as it is defined in the entity model, and then click on add button. So this class is generated. First of all, I will remove this extended from the namespace because we are generating the partial class of that user class which is defined in the entity model. So if you press here, this is the actual class generated from this one, generated from entity framework, and this is our extended class is a partial class where I will add validation. So for adding validators, as I told you, I will not apply the validation to the actual class. I will add another class, and where we will add all the validation. So here I'm going to create another class, user metadata. Okay, first of all I need to import system dot component models dot data annotation for apply the data annotation validation here. So our first property was the first name, this one. So string first name. Okay, here I need required. Okay, allow empty string false, and error message should be first name required. Okay, and I will add also display name equals to first name. So I have done for the first name property. Now I will add validation for the last name as well, the same way. Top string last name. So here display should be name last name required, allow string false, and error message should be, and error message equals to last name required. Okay, this is also done. Now I will add email ID, prop string email ID. So that is required. Display name should be email ID. Required. Required. This is done. One more thing I need to add here, data type should be email address. This is required for verify valid email address. Now I will add validation for date of birth. So it's a date time property was date of birth, display name, date of birth, required, sorry, it was not recorded because we have added nullable for this date of birth, right? But we need to add data type. Data type should be type of date time. Also we can apply here display format, this one, or display in edit mode, how we need to render this date of birth field. Here I will apply this apply in edit format to data format string should be, I want to show like this, mmdd y. Okay, this format I want to show in the edit mode, and then I will add validation for password field. So this is also required. Hello empty string is false, and error message should be password is required. Okay, and we need to add data type for password. This is required, otherwise it will show plain text. I want to show password more text box, that's the reason I have added this. Also one thing is required, I want to add mean length, should be 6. Yeah, and to show minimum 6 character required. Okay, and finally I will add one additional here, which is confirm password. So I just copy this one, paste, required is not required here, this should be confirm password, and display name should be confirm password, and also this is not required. Here I will add compare validator, other property is password, and then error message confirm password and password do not match. Okay, so we have added all the validation here in this module. Then what we will do, I will apply this validation in our user model. So how we can apply? We will add metadata type and the type of this class name we need to add here. In this way we can add all the validation in a separate class and apply this validation metadata information here in our main class. So this is done, the validation part is done, but just one thing, as this is not in our actual model, I need to add this field here as well. This is additional field. This field will be displayed in the registration page, but this value will not save to our database. Okay. Now we will add a controller here in our application for write all the required actions for register user, login, logout, and email validation. Okay, so go to your Solution Explorer, and in the Solution Explorer right click on controllers folder, then go to add and then click on controller. From here I will select MVC5 controller empty and then click on add button. Here I will give the controller name user controller and then click on add button. You can see one user controller is added here in our application. Okay, so what I will do now, here I need to write registration action. Right, registration post action, then what I will do, login post, before login and logout what I will need, then we will verify account, email, and then verify email link. Okay, so let's start with registration action. Oops, registration action. Okay, so what I will do here, http get public action result registration. Okay, here we don't need to do anything, just we will return view. Okay, sorry. Then what we need to do, we need to create one view for that action. So right click inside your view, then click add. From here I'll select create, and then from here I will select this user. This is our model, and this is needed, the layout page, or make it looks perfect. Okay, now reference script library and then click on add button. Okay, you can see here this all is added, all the fields. From here we need to remove this one, activation code is not required, so I removed it. Email verification is not required at the registration time, so this is also removed. Okay, and all is okay. First name, last name, email ID, date of birth, password, confirm password. One thing we need to change here, as we have added this, you can see the layout is automatically added because we have checked the layout when we created this view. So just I'm going to here for change one thing here. In the layout page I will add one script section. Okay, sorry, render section. Yeah, we need to provide one name, scripts, required false. This I have added because I want to add all the scripts from registration page after loaded this library. So what I will do here, I just don't need this one because it will take from layout page. Just what I need to do here, just need to write section and then scripts. So this means inside this section what I have written here all will render after this two jQuery here in this section. Okay, then it will work perfectly fine because we all know that jQuery library should render before any other script which are dependent. Okay, then what I will do here, I need to change a little or make it looks perfect. So what I will do here, I don't need this one user, this I have removed. Okay, so this is our complete form. Okay, from here to here. Now what I will do here, I will write one condition here for show success message after registration successfully done. Otherwise I will show the form and error message if any. So here I will write one condition if viewback dot status, this viewback dot status data we will insert here in the viewback after successful registration done. So if it is not equals to null and dot here that dot status, if it is not equal to null and the status is true, then here I will show the success message. Otherwise what I will do here, I will show the entire form. If it is not success, then it will show the form. Okay, and also I need to show validation message also here if there is any error after after submitted the form. So I will show here. So here I will show the message. Again I will write one if condition. If equals to null, then here I will show error message. I forgot the class name, bootstrap class name. It should be alert, I think. Yes, alert. And alert error, I think, or danger. This one. Strong site error, and then here I will show the back dot message. Okay, the same thing I will do here also. If it is success, success, and here I will show the error message. Okay, so again I'm saying what I have done here. I have added one condition here. If the viewback message status is success, then we will show the successful message here, and if it's not, and if it is null, then I will show the form for registration, and if there is any error in the form, it will show here. So it's clear. One thing I need to change here, this one I think not required, because we already have this one. The @ sign is not required because it's already in C# code started here in this bracket, so this is not required. And here what we will change to login. If you are already registered, so you can get this login link, so user can this login link. Okay, so this form is done. Now what we need to do, we need to create our post action where we will submit this form. Okay, so let's go back to user controller. So this is done. Now here I will write our HTTP post action. So HTTP post, and one more thing I will add here, validate NT43 token. This is for prevent CSRF attack. And now I will write public action result registration, and here I will need to add our model user. This is not available, so what I need to do here, login model dot models, I need to add this one here, and user, and at the last I will add return view user. Okay, then here we need to write our code for submit this form and save all the data to our database. Okay, so one of the most important things I need to add here, which is I will write bind, sorry, I need to add this third bracket, bind exclude, and here I will provide two property, which is one is, one second, I just go to our model, not here, this is our actual class, generate from entity model framework. So this one I will copy and add here, and one more property I need to add here, which is activation code, this one. Okay, let me explain why I have added this two field here. Okay, first I'm going back to our actual model class, which is this one. Here you can see we have these two property, is email verified and activation code, that we will prevent user to provide, because we will do this from backend code, right? Is email verified, it will be true only after the user will verify their email, and activation code we will generate a unique code. That's the reason we will not take any input for these two fields from user, and these two fields we need to prevent from user to provide, because if I go back to our controller, here the model is bind automatically, so we can prevent the properties that are allowed to be bound automatically using this bind exclude. Okay, that's the reason we have added to here. If anyone wants to provide this value and provide this value from form, it will reject from automatic binding. Okay, let me first describe what things I will do here. First of all, I will check model is valid or not. So model validation, then I will check email is already exist or not. Then I will do activation code generation. So generate activation code here, and then one more thing I need to do here, which is password hashing. For security purpose, we will not save clear password in our database, so password hashing we will do here. We'll do password hashing, and then hashed value we will store in our database. Okay, and then finally we will save data to database, and after save, send email to user. Okay, these things we need to do here, so we will do one by one for make this easy to understand. Okay, so from first of all I will get one boolean value for status. By default it's false. String message is empty. Okay, these two property we need, because in the view we have used message, and you can see the status, so this two is needed, and finally we will store this value in our view back, so we can check from here the form is submitted successfully or not. Okay, so our first step is model validation. Model validation is very easy. Model state dot is valid, done. Model validation, because all the remaining work we have already done in our validation class, right? Okay, so if it is valid, then we'll do remaining part here. Otherwise I will save your message. I will update this one, invalid request. Then our second task is this one, so email is already exist or not. I need to check this one. For check email is already exist or not, I'll write one function here, so it should be Nonaction method, public boolean, sorry, it should be not here, should be inside the class, right here. Non-action public boolean is email exist. Yeah, I will pass email ID. From here I will return true or false. If exist, then I will return true. If not, then I will return false. And this method I will call from here. So okay, let's this method ready first. It's very simple, using my database entities DC, sorry, new database entities here, v equal to dc dot users dot where dot email id equals to email id dot first dot default done v equals to null, then it's not exist, then it should be false. And if it is not equals to null, that means it's exist, then it will return true. I think we can do it very simply. Not equals to null, then we don't need to anything put here, right? This is simple. If not equals to null, that means it's true. Okay, so this is done. Now I will call this method from here. Where is exist equals to here, and the email id should be user dot email id, right? Or for make it more clear, reason, the reason I just adding this one, or make it clean. If is exist, then what I will do, then we will add model state dot add model error, one custom model error I'm going to add here. Email exist, and then we can provide message email exist, and then we will return view from here directly, so it will not execute the remaining code. Okay, so we should show this message in a view. So where I will add this one, I will add here just after the email editor field. So I will just change one line. Actually I'm going to add this new line here first, so email already exists. Validation message, then here I will add this name, the custom name, and then I will add this class here for make it looks perfect. Okay, so this is done. If email ID is already exists, then this error message will show here just after the email text box. Okay, I'm going back to our user controller. Okay, so email validation is done. Now what was the second thing is generate activation code. It's very easy. This was our second task. I'm going to put you activation code. How we will generate? Nothing. User dot activation code is equal to GUID dot new GUID. So it's done. Activation code. Okay. Password hashing. Now we need to add password hashing things here. Copy here. Control K, Control S, region. For make this region here, password hashing. I will add password hashing here. For password hashing, we will create another class. Okay, so just go to your Solution Explorer, right click on your project name, go to add, and then click on class. I will create one class. Let's give crypto TO. Okay, and then click on add button. So I'll make this one static. Now I will add one method here, public string. Sorry, I will make it static class, public static string hash string value. I'll return hashed value of this value. So I need to convert this one to base64 string. System dot security dot cryptography dot sh26 dot create dot compute hash encoding dot UTF-8 get bytes value. Okay, so this is done. First we convert it to byte and then compute hash from this sh256. So this is done. Now I need to call this method where I need to convert plain text to hash value. So I'm going back to our user controller from here. So user dot password equals to crypto dot hash for user dot password. Okay, we need to do one more thing here. This is confirm password is equal to crypto dot hash user dot confirm password. Let me explain why I have done this line. I have added this line for as this is hack for avoid confirm password does not match issue, as DB context validate again on save changes. So for ignore this validation, I'm hashing this confirm password as well for match these two value when it will validate again on save changes. Okay, this is done, and this we need to make it false for the first time. So user dot this email validation is false. Now what was the next word? Password hashing is done. Then we need to save this information to our database. Okay, so here save to database. Okay, I'm going to create my database entity. This is database entity. What I will do here, dc.users.add this user, and then I will call save for save this data to our database. And if it's successfully saved, then what I need to do is we need to send this email to user for email verification things. Okay, so for sending mail we need to again write one method here. I will write another method, non-action method, public void send verification link email. But we need email ID, in which email ID I will send this email, and also we need activation code. Okay, and this method I will call from here. User dot email ID and user dot activation code. So dot to string. Okay, so here I need to write method, all the code for send email with activation code. Let's finish this method first for send email with this activation code for validate the account. Okay, so let get is equal to request dot string and get the host name, port, var user slash verify account slash plus activation code, right? So final link should be request dot url dot obsolete URI replace with request dot URL dot button query. This part I will replace with this verify URL. So this is our actual URL for validation link which we need to send in email. Okay, For send email, we need from email is new mail address to system.net.mail. Okay, so this will be .net awesome@gmail.com. I'm going to use Gmail settings here for send this mail. Display name is .net awesome. You can provide your email ID here. To email is equal to new mail address. It's the email ID where I need to send this email. This one. We need password from email password. Here you need to provide your email password. Here you need to replace with your actual password for your Gmail account. If you provide your Gmail account here in the from mail address, and then subject, your account is successfully created. Okay, then body, so we can provide HTML. This is break. Now it's a message here. We are excited to tell you that your account is successfully created. Please click on the below link to verify your account. Okay, then I will EF equals to, this is the link, I'll create to break, I will add here before the link. Okay, so this is our body. Now I will configure our SMTP client. SMTP client, where we need to provide some information. You can also configure your SMTP from your web.config file for send email. So as I have used Gmail account for send this mail, so I will add Gmail settings. I need to provide a host. Host is smtp.gmail.com for Gmail. Then port 587. Need to make sure this is true. Need to provide delivery method dot network. Use default credential false. We need to provide credentials is equal to new network. For network credential we need to import using system.net, so click here. Username from email and from email password, sorry, from email dot address. So this is our SMTP client. Now from email to email subject equals to subject. Sorry, I have done something wrong. This is not here. Okay. Sorry. Subject equals to subject. Body is equal to body. And then is body HTML. This we need to make true as we are using HTML tag here. You can see here. So this one required. And finally we will do tp dot send message. Okay, so this method is done for send email. Okay, now what I will do, I will call this method from here. Okay, I have already done. Haha. Message should be registration successfully done. Account activation link. Has been sent to your email ID. User dot email ID. Okay, and status I will make it true. So email send is also done. Then finally I will add this message to viewback dot status equals to status. Okay, so we have done registration part. Okay, so registration part is completed. Now we can run our application for check everything is working fine or not, and if everything is fine, then we will start this remaining part: verify email link, login post action, and logout. Okay, let's check this portion is working or not. So I'm going to run this application. Okay, we need to go to user registration page because we have not done anything here. We will fix this issue after doing all the remaining part. Okay, by default it's looking for home controller. So this is our form. So when I click here, it's showing all the message: first name required, last name required, email ID required, password is required. That means validation is working perfectly fine. So let me create this form. Email ID, gmail.com. Oops, there should be one calendar when I will click here, but it's not working. Okay, let me fix this issue. Maybe I have done some wrong. Okay, let's go back to our user. Let me check. Yes, it should be date, not date time. That's the reason the editor was not working perfectly. Let me run this application again. User registration page. Okay, you can see now it's came here. So I'm going to fill up the form again. gmail.com, anything you want. So anything from here, just I'm giving one dummy information. Now password, and see minimum 6 characters required. This message is also coming here. Okay. And then it's looking for confirm password, so it's match. Now if I click here, it will save the data to our database, and also one email will send to this mail ID. But before doing this, we should define our password, email password, because for now I have added it dummy password. So before run this application, you should change your password in the code. Okay, let me update my email password, then I'm clicking here. Okay, I have changed the password. Now I'm going to click here to create. It's taking a little time because for sending mail it's taking a little time. You can see here the message: registration successfully done, account activation link has been sent to your email ID. This one, Yahoo, we have done this. Let me check my mail ID if I got any email. You can see I got this mail, and this is a verification link. After doing this verification part, if I click here, it will activate my account. Okay, let me show you if data is inserted successfully here. This is our database. We need to check once. Yes, you can see here this is the hash password, email verification is fault, and this is activation code, so it's working perfectly fine. Please view my second video of this series for learn the remaining part, how we can verify account, how we can create login page with remember me option, and also logout. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you.